Hello and welcome. Good morning. It's super nice to see you here. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And we are hanging out here. If you don't know, this is my lovely wife, Heather. And today we're talking all about this right here, the RODECaster Pro II. And of course, that's also going to have us talk about the RODECaster Pro I as well. And we're going to have all kinds of fun. Maybe you can see here, I have like many mics to check out.
Cool.
All kinds of cool stuff happening, and Heather's here to kind of help out, test stuff, because it's very, very helpful. I have learned to have a female voice on microphones and stuff, not just my beautiful male voice. And she's also amazing at just keeping track of comments and stuff. If you have a specific question, be sure to put a Q colon in front of it so I can get to it. I know there are all kinds of awesome moderators in here, including Paul Duncan, who is just like...
Shout out.
Sheesh. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Wait, I can give you a round of applause. I feel like that almost sounds sarcastic, but I didn't mean it in a sarcastic way. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about RODECaster Pro II today. I've been making all kinds of videos about it, but this is the first stream on this channel that is being run entirely through it. So the mic we're using right now, it's this boom. It's kind of hard to see in this shot. There's a boom mic right here, there. That's a Sennheiser MKH50. I know it's picking up a lot of room tone just because of how we have things set up for the both of us right now, but we'll be switching to other mics. This is running through the RODECaster, and everything we do today is going to be running through the RODECaster Pro II. And I do have the OG, RCP OG over here, in case we want to do some comparisons with that as well. So can answer questions. I can try. The biggest thing is whenever I'm doing comments about the RODECaster, half the time I'm just sitting here and like somebody asks something and then I like go through the menu to see if it'll do it. And I just figured that might be a helpful thing to do live so you can get like real-time answers to questions. Couple disclaimers first though, very important right off the bat. One, believe it or not, I don't know everything about everything. So
what?
I know. Crazy. So you could ask a question that I don't know the answer to, or even though I'm trying it really hard to be correct, I might say something wrong by accident and I don't mean to do that. And the other thing is I am using beta firmware, so you beta believe that I firmly think you should be aware that I am using beta firmware. Somebody popping this up on screen throughout the stream. These ship on Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Yeah, so I know some people already have theirs, which just means some distributor messed up. But good for you. But it might not be working. So they actually ship on Wednesday, and the official firmware becomes active on Wednesday. But for now, I'm using beta firmware. I don't know how much changes there's going to be between Saturday and Wednesday, but I'm just saying that in case you notice something looks different or works differently, this is beta firmware. Potentially beta firmware also has the chance to have bugs and glitches. I haven't experienced any, like it's been rock solid for me. I've been using this constantly for weeks now. So just little disclaimer there, and I'm gonna be popping that thing up on screen just so if people watch the replay, you know it's beta firmware. Alrighty. How are you?
We have 16 questions already.
Awesome. And thanks to everyone's here. I know I would like to go through one by one, but we probably don't have time to do that. I did see Doc, thank you for getting up early.
Hi, Doc.
Appreciate that. And Bailey, I saw that you're here. I think it's 2 a.m. over there, so feel free to watch the replay. All right, let's jump into questions and just get this show on the road.
All right, okay. Let's go. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I favorited a couple. I don't know if they're in order.
I think they started at the top.
Okay, so here we go.
All right.
Clement
Braconnier.
Can you use one headphone knob to control all headphone outputs so you use the 3 knobs left for MIDI control?
So you asked a question about MIDI. That's admittedly my weakest area of knowledge. For now, as far as I know, the headphone controls you can assign these to do MIDI functions. So, you can have them do things, but as far as I know right now, they can't be remapped to like one headphone controls everything and the others do other functions. I could be entirely wrong on that, but I think it's either doing the headphone for that channel or it's doing a MIDI thing that you have assigned it if it's connected to something. So I think that is the answer.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with, okay. How much memory is there available for storing the SoundPad sound since the RCP one had only 512 MB and storing in a way that wasn't very much space.
Right. So I asked Rode about this, and they said that there's 4 gigabytes internal on the RODECaster Pro. That's not 4 gigabytes per pad, but it's 4 of internal memory, so that's 16 times the original, which it's all just shared, you know, through whatever you happen to have loaded in, which I guess most of that would go to the smart pads. So that means you can load in a lot more stuff. I haven't tested it because there's so many variables, so I don't know if you can put a 50-minute interview clip on a smart pad, but you might be able to. You got 4 gigabytes of space. That's a lot more to work with than 512 megabytes, so that's cool.
Okay, next up is the RC2 capable of doing live music streams and home recordings, or is the Tascam Miscast 4 better for that?
Well, we are doing a live stream right now with it. And as you can see back here, I have a lot of instruments and things. So,
wait.
There, well, here.
Wait.
Back there.
There
There's
we go,
instruments
yeah.
and stuff. The thing with the RODECaster Pro II is it is designed specifically with music in mind. And later on, I can even like plug something in and show you how that works. Because you do have, hey, check this out. Oh, and I even have, boom, more of a close-up here. So when you go into each channel, I kind of showed this on a video that might be a little bit blurry.
There we go.
That's about as clear as we're gonna get for right now. You can go in and you can select your microphones, but you also have the option to select line in and instrument. So it's designed, I guess I should say, the reason I'm telling you that is because it is designed specifically for music applications in addition to streaming, in addition to podcasting and all that kind of stuff. The Mixcast. So the units that I have used so far were the original RODECaster, the RODECaster II, the Mixcast, and the Zoom P8 and the Zoom P4. The Mixcast was the only one that I thought really kind of competed to the original RODECaster. It had some strengths, and it was better in a couple ways and not as good in a couple other ways, but it was pretty even. RODECaster Pro II, it's like someone just took a steamroller and just went over everything else, honestly. So I wouldn't recommend anything else for the most part, except for a couple specific scenarios that I saw in here. So anyway, yeah, if you want to do music, RODECaster Pro II is great.
Okay, can the button above each fader be used for MIDI?
Yes, it can. These right here can be assigned for MIDI. These ones down here, I haven't been able, at least with beta firmware, to get us to assign these, but these ones up here I have. And again, beta firmware, so that could change.
I just recently got the RODECaster 1. Not sure I fully understand the capabilities it has. Should I consider upgrading? I do like the smaller size and the ability to get it off the desk.
Cool. I'm really glad you asked that, Jackie. And also thank you for joining my channel memberships. I appreciate that. I think there was an answer to this question.
Right on top.
Yeah. So there was a really good answer here. I ordered the second one. I do believe it has a lot of functions. The first doesn't. Doesn't have, but depending on what you're doing, I wouldn't call it necessary. I think that's a really good way to put it. So I'm going to give my in-depth upgrade answer now, and then later throughout the stream, because I know this will pop up again, we'll just kind of go like, hey, let's go back and watch it. I also did talk about this in my RODECaster Pro II walkthrough video, more in depth. So that video is linked in the description. If you have the RODECaster 1, I think, me personally talking, that this is not going to get any more crazy firmware updates or anything. So the way that it is the way that it is, but it will never be less good or less functional. It's going to do everything just as good as it always has. It's going to continue to do that. The RODECaster Pro II is better in every way. But if this is not letting you down, like if this is doing everything that you need it to do and you're happy with it, there's really no need to upgrade. If the original is letting you down in some way, which would be something like maybe you want more MIDI functionality, maybe you want better mic preamps, you don't want to use a booster or something, maybe you want better headphone amps, more processing inside, that kind of stuff, or the ability to connect an instrument. Like if there's those specific things that the original just can't really do that the new one can do, then it makes sense, I think, to upgrade. But if you got the original and you're super happy with it, like it's not getting, worse or anything.
Fragdenstein D. Did you already try to connect AirPods to the RCP2?
Yes. So I can show you. Actually, we'll have to go through this one and then back to this one. One thing. I have a video coming out on Monday all about this, and we'll talk about it. I include the more step-by-step version in there, but you can go to settings. You can go to Oh no, never mind. I'm learning, remember? You go to System and Bluetooth. I can search for a device. And right here, you see I have my phone, but I also have this other thing. It's SRX X11. Basically what that is this little Bluetooth speaker. So you can connect Bluetooth speakers, Bluetooth headphones.
Yes, you put it in my room, and
yeah, and I was talking to her.
You were talking to me, yes.
About it. Could you go to overhead crop?
There we go.
So when you do that, right now I have this little icon right here, and I turn this knob, and that's my monitor output. Oops, actually I have it set to something else. There, now it's my monitor output. When you have Bluetooth connected, like Bluetooth headphones or Bluetooth speaker, there will be another Bluetooth icon here, and then you can just click over to that and adjust that. So what that means is you don't have to do one at a time. You can do Bluetooth and your connected monitors separately in terms of levels.
Cool. Can you hook up the RODECaster Pro II and the one to have more mics on a pod?
That's a good question. So right now they are both running into Ecamm Live. I have both of them connected to my M1 Mac Mini. They don't know that the other is there. Like they're blind. They don't know there's another RODECaster, but through Ecamm, both of them are connected, so I can use 8 inputs. There's no official way to connect them. There's kind of janky ways where you run like an output into a thing, and it kind of works. Like I did a video a while ago about connecting 11 mics or 10 mics to the RODECaster, and it worked. And if you're gonna do it once in a while, I think it's fine. If you're regularly going to need more than 4 XLR inputs, it's probably just not the mixer for you, because you're just gonna be frustrated every time when you're trying to like connect another mixer to a mixer, and like once in a while it can be really fun and it can totally work. But if you're doing it like multiple times a week, I think you're gonna get tired of that really quickly, and you probably need something else.
Regional Direction Western Rot Bas.
I love your German. Wow,
Hey,
you know
Tom.
what? Round of applause for the German.
Is it possible to get a really clean audio signal out of the RCP2 into my Sony A7 IV to prevent syncing issues? Greetings from Germany.
Great question. My overhead camera's the A7 IV right now. So this ties into, yeah. The cleanest signal you're gonna get from the RODECaster is always gonna be either directly to the micro SD card or USB. But you can't do that to a camera or something like the ATEM. You could use a balanced Y cable, so a cable that has, let's see, right here this has a left and a right 1/4 inch, the big ones, left and right 1/4 inch there. So if you had that cable and on the other end you had a 3.5 millimeter cable, and it's a balanced cable, you can connect that to your Sony, and then you should get a pretty good signal. The other thing, which is like, again, kind of janky, but since this has such better headphone amps, they're really clean, they sound really great, you can just run one of the headphones into your camera and it'll probably sound decent. But again, it's always, always, always going to sound better if you connect via USB, and most applications, OBS, Ecamm, the ATEM, streaming software all have sync offsets that you can create, but also, let's see, can I remember how to find it in here? Let's see, if I go here and we go to, is it out? Oh no, I'm not gonna remember how to do this now. Oh no, I don't remember how to do it. Anyway, there is a way. I'm gonna figure this out. There is a way to do offset over here. I just don't remember where the option is because it's new. So yes, it's possible. Where was it? It was outputs, I think. Monitor? No. Anyway, I don't want to take too much time away from this over here, but shoot, I showed it in a video. I just don't remember where it is.
Stay tuned for the video. All right, next up, Simon. My friend and I are thinking of doing a podcast and singing live with the effects built into backing track via USB from iPad. Will this be okay?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, especially because you can apply effects individually to each channel. So if you want your backing track to come in as is from the iPad, you could do that very easily. And then you can do singing, but you could add in, like if you wanted reverb on your vocals, you could add that into just your vocal channel and mix it really nicely.
Andy says, different mix on headphone outs. Myth or reality?
As far as I know, they're all the same, except channel 1 is slightly different because you can go into, like if I do go into Oh, you totally cannot read these right here. But if I turn on like after fader or pre-fader listen, this will only affect the host's channel and not the other channel. So that means like, are you going to hear the mix after it's already been mixed, or are you just going to hear the line inputs? But that will only affect channel 1, headphone 1, and then the others are all the same. But as far as I know, they are currently just the full regular mix.
What delay, if any, have you added to your RCP2? Says Nerdnest.
Nerdnest. I have a 5-frame delay in Ecamm Live right now, so I've just had that forever and I just kept it.
Matt Hurt, what is the transfer speed, podcast transfer mode versus RCP1? A multi-track 2-hour recording on RCP can take an hour or longer to transfer. How big a change is it with the RCP2?
We'll answer this question and we'll switch microphones. It's a huge change. I don't know the exact speed, but one of my questions was, man, why did you use micro SD instead of full-size SD? Because I like full-size SD. And they said that one of the reasons was because the built-in card reader in here is insanely fast. So when it's pulling data off the SD card, it's so much faster than the original was. And it's very hard to quantify that. But having done multiple podcasts and streams and stuff with it over the past few weeks and then transferring them, it's like a fraction of the time that it used to be. I can't give you a specific number, but you're not going to be waiting an hour for a 2-hour show. I've only waited a couple minutes at most for a really long multi-track so far. It's insanely fast, which is really nice.
Matt, describe your full signal chain.
Yes, that's a great question. Microphone into RODECaster.
Perfect.
But let's switch up. Let's switch up mics so we get into that, because right now we're using this boom mic, but I know that one of the questions people are going to have is this guy right here, the Shure SM7B, not a Rode microphone, but a microphone that's traditionally a high gain microphone. And then let's see.
We're switching mics.
Yeah. Let's start with the pod mic over here, because a lot of people, start with pod mics. So let's connect a pod mic. I sure hope I can get this right. Okay. So your pod mic is going to be here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up my beta firmware warning. For the pod mic, I'm going to go into channel 3, which is what I have it connected to. I'm just going to select the pod mic preset, and now that is all set. And for channel 2, I have the Shure SM7B. I haven't done anything else, and both of these are just running directly into the RODECaster Pro II. I'm going to pop on my headphones here. So I'm going to turn down the Sennheiser. And now I'm going to bring up our other mic. So you're hearing me on the SM7B and...
Hi, this is me on the... What is this called again? The pod mic.
And you're hearing Heather on the pod mic. And these are just going directly into... Oops, sorry, I have a bad cable. Still waiting on those Rode cables, These are going directly into the RODECaster Pro II with no boosters.
With no boosters.
Yeah, so... The SM7B goes to a 55 decibel level of gain, and the pod mic goes to 50. That's just by default, but of course I can change that if I want to bump it up a little bit on the SM7B. And another thing which is very, very cool that I just kind of learned a little bit about is this right here. It has a circle. I forget what it's called. It's like the Rode O, but I don't think that's what it is. It's a circle with a line through it. This can activate mic. It can fix mic phasing. So if you have two mics close together, and they're out of phase and you're getting weird sounds, you can push that and then it will bring them back together, and it works great because we had to use it the other day, and that's a very cool thing. So the signal chain is just running straight into the RODECaster, but it does have some processing turned on. So there we go. We go back here, and if we go to see what it has, the default, it turns on a high-pass filter. So this is the SM7B with the high-pass filter. This is the SM7B without the high-pass filter. I'm just going to leave it on. I think Rode did a pretty good job on these. I do have a de-esser, de-esser. There we go. I'm going to turn that back on. We do have the noise gate, which is significantly better. So if I talk and then I stop talking, I think you might be able to hear the noise gate turn on, but what I have found is if I turn down the attack and the release, then then I think it starts to sound really, really nice. If I turn off the noise gate, you have that. And then if I turn on the noise gate, you have this right here. And then we do have a master compeller, not compressor, because it's the Aphex Processing Compeller, which is a very compelling thing to use. All right.
We have
questions.
a lot.
Okay, let's just go through.
Let's try to do a lightning round.
You know, we'll do the best we can.
I know. The Liberty Gal. Is there a book or a video guide to walk newbies like myself learning through what to do and how to do it with the RODECaster 1 or 2?
So aside from my awesome channel, which will have all kinds of videos, I know Rode is really good about posting videos to their channel. I'm sure they'll do that when it's updated. And I do know they are also posting user guides that will be available when it's actually released next week. So the easiest way to do it is if you just scan this QR code on the front of it, it will take you right to all of the guides. And they've broken it, they will have broken them down into like recording and processing, basic setup, like all the different things, and it'll just do step-by-step guides.
Kenneth, 3.5 millimeter line out for camera, mic level output, or just line out for connecting to a camera?
We kind of talked about that a bit ago. So I'd either do the monitor outputs with a balance cable or just run a headphone. And it'll sound okay. The headphones will sound significantly better because they're so much cleaner than before. Yeah.
Paul Burt, Rode says it has a monitor mute on fader up. Does that mute also work with just hitting the channel on button? Thinking about broadcast radio applications, thanks.
Currently I guess I can take my scroll ticker off here, but currently in the beta firmware, it is only when the fader is physically moved up, it will mute the monitor. So if any of the mic channels are up, boop, it will turn off the monitor. As soon as it goes down, it will do that. It doesn't seem like it. Well, I guess if you mute the channel here, it wouldn't show out on the monitor. I'm hurting my brain. So far, for me, it's only been on the fader.
Germix, how many audio inputs outputs do you get via USB? How do USB audio devices work when connecting to computers? Is there a limitation on the second USB connected computer?
That's an absolutely awesome question. So I talked about that in a video I did last week that was like computer features, and I talk about it a little bit more in a video that's coming out on Monday. But when you connect the RODECaster to your computer, you get two input outputs. You get RODECaster Pro Main and RODECaster Pro Chat. And you can choose either one. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to just be for chat, but you could use either one. If you connect the second USB port to a second computer, then it shows up as RODECaster Pro II secondary, and you can use that as an input output for that computer as well. The limitation on that has to do with like, shoot, my cable, has to do with transferring to the the Rode Central app. You can't like transfer files from the secondary output currently, at least. That's really the only limitation. But what you can also do is connect both USBs to one computer, and then you have 3 RODECaster input outputs. So you could have main as your main. You could have chat as like a chat. You could run your Discord to it, and you could have the secondary one as like music or something. And then what you could do is you could take all of these and rearrange your faders, because why did I mute my Bluetooth? There we go. Because as I showed, wait a minute, I'm touching the wrong faders, my bad. What you can do is you can go into faders, and then you can just start rearranging stuff here. So, you know, if you wanted your chat to pop up here, you could then replace, you know, I'm going to replace my Bluetooth with chat. And now I've got the chat channel assigned right here. So however you decide to have those working for you, or how you want them arranged, you can then put them all on these different channels, however you want them.
Great. That was Germix, right? Yes. Okay. Let's see. This is DJ Write and Beat. The reason I bought the new one is for the talkback feature, so I can discreetly cue talent and remind them of time remaining or bullet points, etc. Can you show how to route that feature?
Yes, I practiced this. Let me see if I can get it right.
Yay.
Under pressure. So it's pretty simple, basically. If we go into settings and outputs and no, not headphones. Headphones is where you think it would be because it's headphones, but it would be listen. No, it's not listen. Shoot. Oh, no. Some things did change on the firmware, too, so things are in a different spot. Honestly, I haven't done that since I got the second new firmware. There's a setting somewhere that lets you set it up. I don't remember where it is. So in there's just one setting. I don't remember where it is. I'm not going to lie to you, and I kind of don't want to dig into the settings right now. There's just one setting that lets you, like, how you want the host to talk back to. Wait. No, now I'm remembering something. Oh, I got it.
He got it.
Okay. Boom. I think I got it at least. We can go into channel 1 here. And then we can go into settings. And now what we can do is... Nope, that wasn't it. I don't remember. I'm not going to lie. There was a way where you can go into channel 1. I have a video on it, but I don't remember where it is now. And you can route it like channel 1 will go to these headphones and not these headphones here. I just don't remember where it went. Some things moved between firmware updates, and I also forgot some things. So,
Tobias, does the RCP2 have more than 2 input devices in the USB interface? More specifically, will I be able to put Discord, Spotify, and Game Sound to individual faders and control them separately?
Yeah, we kind of just talked about that one. So the same answer I gave before.
Verkeer School, is it possible to connect the Rode Wireless Go 2 to the RODECaster Pro II by USB?
Currently, there is no like USB mic functionality. But you've got all these Rode USB mics. You've got the Rode Connect app. You've got a RODECaster Pro with 2 USB things. It wouldn't surprise me if things change in the future. Currently, I think what they're trying to do is for the 1.0 release, like, here's everything the RODECaster Pro can do, make it as stable and reliable as possible, give everyone the awesome experience, and then let's start building on those features as time goes on. I think that's probably a likely strategy.
Okay, Creel Man, can you ask them to add a full-blown EQ with 13 bands, Q control, etc.?
I mean, you can ask them. You should submit user feedback too. I know that they want that. Going from no EQ to having high mids and lows is great. Adding like a full graphic equalizer or something would be amazing. Seems like there could potentially be the processing power inside here to handle that. And if so, you know, the original RODECaster, since it came out, I think got like a dozen really good firmware updates, not just like fixes internal clock or something stupid that you don't care about, but like really good feature updates. And it wouldn't surprise me to see regular feature-rich updates to the RODECaster Pro II as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if those do happen to include more things like EQ and stuff.
Ribic, how difficult time-wise is it to switch the virtual channels? Does it take multiple steps in menus?
Oh, that's super easy. That I do remember how to do because I do that all the time. You just go into settings, you go to faders, and then you just drag and drop where you want them to be. The only thing to remember is you can't do it while you're recording, because that would, if you're recording and you move it would mess things up. So I'm not recording right now, and that's why I can very easily you just drag them where you want them to go. I'm not going to do the ones, like I could switch R's back and forth, but I probably don't want to do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. That's it. So from the home screen, it's just settings, faders, and then just drag, tap and drag.
Battle for Freedom. Have you tried to run the RCP2 into 2 PCs running OBS to simultaneously stream audio? I have one PC running vMix that has RCP OG and second using Winamp with a Behringer audio fed from RCP OG.
Yeah. I did it with Ecamm, but I don't see why it wouldn't work exactly the same with OBS. It's totally fine. There's when it's connected to like 2 separate computers, the second computer isn't like it's getting the same output, the same, like, I don't know, latency, whatever you want to call it. Like it's the same as if it were just connected to one computer. The other computer doesn't know that it's sharing the signal.
Nerdness, can you store stuff on an SD card and use the smart pads and use them on the smart pads?
Yes, right now. So I guess I could show this too. If I go into, like, I'll go over to channel 2 on a smart pad, and then I can try to go to like this empty pad here. Right now, I don't have a lot because when I updated the new firmware, I had to erase all my settings. So I'm like not putting anything in because I'm going to do that again when the official firmware comes out. I don't have anything on my SD card, but this is where you could add all kinds of stuff and go in and you know, change things around a little bit. Currently, at least through the beta firmware, a lot of it is also done through the Rode Central app. That's where you can like really expand a lot of the smart pad functionality. And I have found it's a little easier to work since they can do so much with the app on the desktop versus like in the RODECaster, but it's also, again, beta firmware. So
Matthew Pat,
hey.
Are there any drum presets?
Currently, there's no instrument presets. So it's other than like instrument level input, but it's not like what I would love to see. And I feel like this could be possible is if you remember like the Line 6 pod from like 2006, it's like the little $300 thing you plug your guitar into and then plug it into a computer and had all the like simulated amps, and you could get like really cool recordings in your bedroom or your apartment without disturbing anybody. That was 2006. This is 2022. I feel like it has to be possible for this to do that at some point, and I would love to see that kind of functionality expanded upon. Right now, the instrument input is just generic instrument, and then you can go in and EQ it however you want, or use a line level, or whatever you need to do. So there's no drum preset, but you could definitely use it for drums. The only caveat being that it is 4 channels, and if you're like miking out a huge drum set that has 10 mics or something, you know, math.
Subi did Nandy. Can I change camera angles with a smart pad?
You could if you assign, if in your streaming software, you assign your camera switching to a MIDI function, which I actually have a video from a long time ago about how to do that on Ecamm Live with a beta version from the original RODECaster Pro, because it was possible with even just these ones. Then you could do it. Currently, it's not set like a Stream Deck where you just like drag and drop those kinds of triggers to a smart pad. Be cool to see though.
I feel like we answered this, but Tommy says, this puzzles me. I'm a streamer and already ordered the RCP2. Can I use it to assign different faders to separate programs running in my PC, like games, Discord, Chrome, Spotify?
Yeah, so we've answered this question 3 times, but I'm glad you asked, because this is literally the most popular question. And if it's the most popular question I'm getting, I'm going to go ahead and guess it's also the most popular question that Rode is getting, which means it wouldn't surprise me again to see them like really try to add more functionality to that. I think having the 3 inputs currently, or 3 input outputs, is awesome and really flexible, but I know people want to do even more and more and more, and it'd be cool to see how they handle that in the future.
Alicio, can we see a live demo of how to use main headphone monitoring without that front headphone jack that Rode took away?
Okay. It's a little complicated. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that it?
Yeah, I mean that's like basic. It's just channel 1, channel 1 to channel 1, and that's pretty much it.
That was a live demo. Live, what is it? Demo mode pros.
Yeah,
there it is.
I use the front jack all the time on mine. But I haven't honestly had any issues, or like I haven't missed it using the regular jack.
Bowleg Joe, what is the total amount of virtual channels available?
3. So you have 6 physical, 3 virtual, and then you can swap them, reassign them however you want.
Where are the jokes?
I mean, I'm going to answer these questions.
Did we talk about the daisy chaining? We did, right?
Yeah, you can't do it officially.
Right. Okay. Can compression and EQ also be used on the USB channel? Says Daniel Blooming.
Can compression EQ? Yes, but let's double check that for you right now. So if we go to USB, okay, yes, the answer is still yes. I'm in USB 2 right now, and if I click on advanced and I turn on processing, I have all of the same high pass filter, de-esser, noise gate, compressor, EQ, exciter, panning, and then go back to high pass filter. So yeah, you have all the same stuff on all of the channels, which is pretty cool.
Joshua, once connected to the PC, are you able to create virtual inputs, route your PC audio like the Beacon Mix, create Go XLR, and use the sliders for those virtual inputs? Is that the same question?
That's the same question.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I think we'll just like we'll pause on like the virtual input questions, because I know it is the most popular thing, and what I can say is keep asking those questions because Rode sees them.
Is this the same thing
on people's channels, and all that kind of stuff? So yeah. Can you change the sound pad sets during the recording? Let's see. So
wait,
I don't know.
No, this one.
Oh, wait.
Once plugged in computer will be different channels show up. That's the same
one.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was looking at Patrick's question because I haven't.
Question. Here we go.
Yeah. Can you change the different sound pad settings during the recording? So I'm gonna hit record, and then we'll go.
We're just gonna do it
to here. No, you cannot.
You cannot. There you go.
No, wait, you can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll add the pitch shifter. Okay. Turn it on.
Hello. Look at that.
And I can turn it off.
And I can turn it on.
And I can turn it off. Yeah, so now I have this.
And I can change the pitch of my voice. Can you talk?
Hi, I'm talking.
I like.
I'm reading. I'm reading questions. I am reading questions. Chris Murphy's asking, how does RC2 integrate with Ecamm Live?
Well, to answer the first question, yes, you can change the pads while it's recording, which is pretty cool. And
I'm going to stop recording.
What?
Okay, wait. Okay, too much happened. That was fun. I didn't know you could do that, so thanks for asking.
Okay. Yes. Can we connect multiple headphones via Bluetooth?
Currently, there's one Bluetooth connection available at a time. And I'm saying currently not because I have like insider knowledge of like down the line. I'm just saying, I'm telling you what I know. So like beta firmware, you beta believe, that's all I know.
Alvin, can the RCP2 be a karaoke system as well? Just food for ideas since it's a real beast.
I don't see why not, right? You could run music through it, you could run vocals through it, and then pump up the jams.
Matthew says, is there a master and volume fader?
For monitor outputs, yes. Not for like the whole mix out currently, at least.
Roberto, can you use it with Audition for recordings?
Yep. I've used it with Audition. It just shows up as a source, and that's
We
cool.
talked about the Ecamm Live, right?
Yes, yeah, we're using it with Ecamm Live right now. We're using both of them connected, actually.
I'm trying to see which one's a fast question. Could you connect the RCP1 using the USB-C to the RCP2's new USB ports and use both? Oh, that's the same.
Yeah, it's a great question. It doesn't do anything right now, but you can connect them both to the same computer and use them simultaneously. That's what we have right now.
Tommy, can you choose what goes through to the monitor outputs, like getting music to play but not to hear the mics?
Yeah. Currently, I don't think. Well, yes and no. No, in a new way. Yes, in the same way you would with the old one, which is like if you just want to, you like essentially just solo the channels that you do want to hear and don't solo the ones that you don't want to hear. It's kind of the easiest way to do that. But it's not. I don't think it's exactly what you were asking for, but that's the current way.
Art had the chance to try recording from the TRS out to a camera. I'm curious if the buzz noise issue from RCP1 to camera is fixed.
I haven't tried camera. I've tried ATEM, but the ATEM's audio kind of sucks anyway. I think the key there would be using a balanced cable, like a balanced Y cable. Why? Because then it will help eliminate that hiss. But I've just always found that recording directly to SD or directly to computer, or in this case, even SSD, is the best way to get the best quality.
Nerdnest says, I ordered with your link. Do you know if B&H is shipping them right away, launch day, or are we going to be waiting forever?
I don't know. I haven't ever pre-ordered from B&H before. You should be getting it like soon. I'm sure they will go on back order pretty quick because I feel like it's going to be a popular thing. You should get them pretty soon. I don't know if B&H has it set up like Apple where you get it like on, like yours is in the mail right now and you're going to get it on Wednesday. I don't know. That'd be cool. I hope you do.
The Podcast Meister, hi there. And
Hi.
thanks for all the great info about the RCP2. Can you please check out if you can create different submixes work from the headphone outs?
We talked about this earlier. Currently, I don't think so, but I could be wrong because turns out I don't know everything about everything.
Sabrina, does the RODECaster Pro work with Elgato Wave 3? Will it replace the Wavelink?
Currently, it doesn't work with any USB mic functionality. And I guess that's the best answer for that.
MC Enterprise, is it possible to get Discord, TeamSpeak, and so on to the line in from the microphone channels over USB sound cards?
I mean, with the 3 inputs. So you have your 3 inputs, you can set them to be whatever you want them to be in terms of outputs. And hopefully we'll somehow see that expanded in the future.
Brad Bailey, is there only 2 virtual outputs showing in your computer? In other words, are you able to loop more than 2 channels out from the computer to the RCP2 for music chat system audio? Is that the same thing?
That's the same question.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you just connect both USBs to one computer and then you have 3 outputs.
Harshid says, what type of accessibility features would you say that the product has?
That is a good question. So you do have, I don't know if this really counts as accessibility, but you do have the option to go in and like change everything about the display you want. So you can change the brightness of the display, the brightness of the buttons. I think that just helps for visibility. You can also turn on haptic. So I don't have any haptic feedback turned on right now, but you can turn on haptic feedback. So the screen actually kind of like buzzes a little bit when you use it. And the other thing though, is if I go into system and I go to language, we do have like a ton more languages now. So I think Rode is trying to add as many languages as possible. So that way it can be used like natively in more places. But, and I was going to make this point earlier, if you have specific things that you want Rode to do, like send it to them. Go to their website and contact them. Send them a message on social media, tweet at them, because they really do listen to the community. And they want to make stuff that's really good. And, you know, if you have an idea, like all of the questions about, can we route more things, send that to Rode, because when everybody's asking for that, it would be silly of them not to try to accommodate as much as possible.
Okay, let's see. Russell Westcott, do you have multi-channel outputs when connecting to a computer?
Currently, I don't think so. Like, it's just the RODECaster Pro shows up. But if you're talking about like opening up Logic and having all the channels as a separate channel in Logic, and I could be wrong on this, I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Barry says, not a question, but man, your top-down shot is flawless.
Thank you. It's that one, and then boom, and then we got this one here. It's actually the same shot through the magic of Ecamm.
Matthew says, have you made a spot for the YouTube 100K button?
It's in my dreams. Wait, where's my thing?
Let's see. Bruno Miranda says, can I just send music to the output monitor at a room, but music and voice into YouTube streaming? If I'm in a conference room, can I send just music to the room and my voice and music into streaming?
Oh, I see.
So you'd need like 2 outputs.
Yeah, that would be, but how would you do I feel like the answer is yes, but you need someone smarter than me to do it.
There you go.
They are called smart pads, but it doesn't mean you're smart just because you have them.
Dr. Omar. Hi, Tom and Heather. Hope all's well. Is there a way to get rid of the distracting sound of the opening and closing of the noise gate in the current RCP, and is it better in the RCP2?
So I never use the noise gate in the original because of exactly what you're saying is way too distracting. I am using the noise gate right now on this. So if you find it distracting, you can dial it in way more in a fine way, but also all of the effects, like if I go to my channel, I forget, this is me. If I go here and I go into, that's the exciter. I always forget what the logos mean. If I go into the noise gate, I have a lot more granular control, and all of these have been rebuilt from the ground up. So even though they have the same name as in the previous RODECaster, the fundamentals of how the effects and how the EQ and how the processing works is like totally brand new.
Peppy, how do you get the mic to have 2 people at the same time on one mic?
We were just using a boom mic, so
oh yeah,
there's a boom mic up here. We were just using that.
Ancon, hi. How did you update the beta version firmware on RODECaster Pro II? Tom is cool.
Yeah, I got it directly from Rode. Some people did get, the RODECaster comes out on the 15th.
Yes.
People pre-ordered them. Some retailers sent them out early. Some people have had theirs also for a couple weeks, but they haven't been able to use it. It just says like, congratulations, you're early. And they've been upset about that because they spent a whole bunch of money on something and they can't use it. But it was not supposed to actually be sent out until the 15th. So it's great that you have it. Nothing is officially available until the 15th, so you just got to wait till the 15th. But it's good that you have it because then you don't have to have the stress of like, will I get it or not?
Rabbi says, what mic setting would you suggest for the Heli PR40?
For the Heil, I haven't used that one. Honestly, I don't even know if that's a condenser or dynamic, but I would start with whichever one it is, if it's a generic condenser, generic dynamic, and then fine tune it from there.
Rio Pell Room, is there much latency when activating voice effect in real time?
Like zero. It's really fun. I think, did I do it?
Yeah, I did it right here, and I pushed the
button, and then I stopped the button,
and then I pushed the button,
and then I stopped the button.
Jay Wine says, does the caster have motorized faders like the Go XLR?
It does not. I didn't know the Go XLR did. That's cool. That's really cool.
Radiology News Network. How can you connect RCP 1 to 2? Would be nice to have all physical faders available.
Yeah, you can't. And just run them both into the same computer is the easiest way.
Matthew, will people be able to share presets?
Ooh, that's a good question. The video I made for Monday, in that video, I presented presets, and you better get set because it's super easy to set them. So for example, on this one right now, if I go into the mic I'm using right now, I can tap on presets. It comes with a few, but there's also one I added here called Tom's Awesome Mic. That was actually for the Procaster, my specific setting for the Procaster. And it's really cool because no matter what channel I connect that mic to, I can just hit that preset and it's going to work. But I don't know how to like dig in and get that. It would be really cool because it can't be a big file. Like a preset file should be like a couple of kilobytes or something. I don't know of a way to share those, but it'd be really cool if you could. Because you could have someone who like has an SM7B sounding amazing, like Doc Rocks always sounds, and he could just put up his preset, and then we could all sound like Doc.
DJ
Khaled.
VJ, do you know if I will be able to connect it straight to my Mevo Start via USB?
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Donnie says, have you tried the Electro Voice RE20 with the preset on the RCP2?
You know what? I haven't, but I have one right here. We could try it right now.
Oh,
let's do it.
It's happening.
Oh.
I lost the question, but what happened?
I just ran into it.
Oh. The mic is hanging off the wall, so he has to take it off the mic.
There. We're going to get a lot of handling noise, and I apologize for that. Could you hand me the purple cable?
Sure.
Yay. Purple. So here, I've never used this mic with the RODECaster Pro. We will go into the channel I'm using No, we'll need to go into a new channel. Oh, shoot. It's not. See? Okay, here. Real time. Because I have changed things here. So I'm going to be using this channel here, which I currently have as a virtual channel, but I want to dive into it a bit more. So I'm going to go into faders. I'm going to move channel 4 back up here. And now I've got channel 4. Therefore, I can go over here and I can select RE20. Boom. And there we go. And now I'm going to mute the SM7B. And now here is the RE20. So let's see what they have done. Now, if you don't believe me, I'm talking into the RE20. I really am doing anyway. Okay, let's jump back into here and see what they have when we're talking about the RE20. I think this actually sounds pretty darn good. If I go into processing, we've got the high pass filter turned on at 70. We've got a de-esser. Yes, sir, it's a de-esser off, de-esser on. We've got the noise gates. So here's noise gate on. Here is noise gate off. Noise gate on. And see, I feel like that attack is just a little too... You can hear it turning on and off, but I just turned down the attack and the release to almost nothing. And then I feel like it tends to sound a lot more natural. And then we've also got... I went to the wrong channel. Oops. Where are we going? Okay, there we go. Oh, that was everything. We have a noise gate, we have the compressor, we have the equalizer, which is, oh wow, if I turn off the EQ, this is now just flat, but they have added in, so this is without any EQ. Now they've added in some highs, they've added in some lows, just like the game of life, and now they've added in some mids as well. I think that sounds pretty good. And we've got the exciter. If I turn that off, it's significantly less exciting than if I turn it on. And it's, of course, panned to the center. So this is the RE20 through the RODECaster Pro II on the default RE20 setting. And the only reason I'm going to switch away from this, because I actually really like the way that this sounds right now, is because I don't have a stand for it, and it's incredibly susceptible to handling noise. So,
can I tell you something?
No.
We have 46 questions in the queue.
Well, we'll try our best to get through them.
And I'm realizing that the questions don't get added in chronological order.
Oh.
Which is why I was waiting.
Fun.
But
That's fun.
So I'm gonna try to give you the easy ones first, but sometimes I just don't even know what these mean.
Yeah.
So.
And if there's some that we've talked to about, I don't mean to be rude by just skipping ahead, but we'll say oh, we already answered that, and we'll go through.
Sammy Superstar, do you think Rode will ever make a RODECaster with more than 4 inputs?
I don't talk to Sammy. I'm just kidding. I don't know, honestly. This is pretty sweet. I kind of personally feel like they could, but that would go into a different price category. This is just me speculating. If we have an 8-channel mixer, now we're into the $1,700. I don't know. All just speculation. I feel like for the customer, their customer base, they're kind of dialing on what this is, and it's maximized and optimized. But who knows? It's obviously a super popular thing. So at the same time, it wouldn't be surprising to see them do different versions of it. I know that their website now says RODECaster Series, but I think that's just because there's 2 of them now.
Matthew, can you run 2 interfaces into Logic?
You could select the main and the secondary, yeah, or the RODECaster and another interface or something.
Roberto, can you record with Audition on PC and Mac?
Yes, I've done that many times.
Matt says, clarification, I got a copy of the manual and I asked Rode and they answered that the monitor out can be changed line out so you could feed LR monitor to ATM
Actually,
or camera.
I believe that it can, because monitor, yeah, okay. So right here, thanks Matt. See, Matt is a smart person. So on the monitor outputs right here, you can do fixed output levels. So that says when enabled, monitor output level will be set to line level and cannot be adjusted. And that's what you would want to use for a camera or sending a signal to an ATEM or something like that. This is also where you can turn on auto mute output. So if a fader is up, it mutes that. And that's just personal preference. So thank you, Matt, for reminding me of that.
Bart, how many computer audio sources can I separate? Is it possible to do more than two?
We've done
Sorry.
We've done this question a bunch of times. So anything that says sources, we'll just kind of
Okay, the podcast meister, I think the changing sound pads while recording question was related to changing sound pad banks while recording, which you cannot do on the Mixcast 4. Based on one of Rode videos, you can.
Banks, like switching
Like
between the
whole
pages.
thing. I guess so. The pages.
Well, I think, I guess to answer the question, yes, because you can just, if this is what you're talking about, like the going through the pages of them, you can totally do that while recording now and switching between them. But you could do that on the original too, because if I press record here and I go to my sound pads, I can also go through the banks digitally there on the original too. I don't know if that's the right answer to the question, or if I'm answering a question that wasn't asked. But yeah.
I think this was asked. Radiology News Network, what is the amount of internal memory for storing sounds on sound pads?
4 gigs internal total.
Nerdness, can you back up your settings so don't get nuked when you update firmware?
Yes, you can do that internally, but you can also, through the Rode Central app, save your show and stuff. Probably a good idea to do.
MNC Podcast Productions. Is there a Q preview option for audio on the RODECaster 2?
It's not. I don't think it's called Q preview, but I don't know if you're talking about like post fade or pre fade listening, which there is. I don't know if that's the same thing. Again, I have an English degree.
Daggin Ben, what shock mount do you use for your Rode mic and your video for Rode Procaster 2?
That's actually. It's this one over here. Can you pull that big old thing there? It was. I just commandeered or repurposed the one for the Rode NT one because I don't have a Procaster shock mount. And I just put it in this one. But it looked cool and it worked great. We should switch mics. Let's switch mics real quick.
Okay.
So, just because I want people to hear different samples. So, I'm going to turn these down, turn up our
boom.
So, Heather's been using the pod mic. Do you have a preference of what you would want to use?
I don't know.
You don't have a mic preference? How about you use...
What, this one?
I'm going to use that one because I have a preset made for it. I'll let you use the NT1.
Dude, this thing is huge.
I know, but the pop filter really
this is like
makes
completely
it different.
like, hello.
You can talk to the side of it, though, if you put it like that.
I could talk to her here.
Well, we can...
It's fine. No one needs to see me.
This might get a little... Everybody needs to see you. So now I'm going to take this... and put it into the
Procaster.
The Rode Procaster and the RODECaster Pro, once again, 2 different products. Okay, now let's start with Heather's. So what we'll do is we'll go into here, and you are on this channel, and we're going to select... We're going to select NT1, because it's a great mic for NT1, and I'm going to turn the Sennheiser down. All right, can you give me a mic check?
Hi, Clement says, can you still press mute and solo together to talk back?
Boop.
You can.
Yeah, that functionality is the same.
Yay.
And then on mine, I know you can hardly hear me right now. On my channel over here, we're going to go to... actually, we're going to go to Tom's Awesome Mic because that was the preset I made for this specific mic. Right? Hello. No, what's happening? Oh, shoot. It's on channel 4. There we go. There's Tom's Awesome Mic. Now Tom is talking. There we go. All right. I can't remember which channel things went to. So now I'm on the Procaster. Heather's on the NT1. Gosh, this sounds like really good to me right now.
Mark Cockrum says, Tom Buck is such a great guy. I love his RODECaster content. Oh, that was more of a statement.
Oh, your check is in the mail.
James Hicks, any thoughts on what the Ethernet port would be used for? Sorry if I already answered. Just waiting. What's
Currently,
up, yo?
Currently, it's used for connecting to the network if you want to like update firmware and stuff. Speaking as a fan, it seems very silly that they would put that much into it just for firmware updates that you can easily do over USB or Wi-Fi. So,
who knows?
Feel like there might be some more functionality coming to that at some point.
Are you serious? We're getting super chats. I think Doc.
Oh, shoot.
Doc Buy HR Susie Cake because her amazing Vanna White skills are unparalleled.
Yeah,
So
right?
You the bomb without her. Love you guys.
It's also her birthday
Doc,
in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you,
so
Doc.
sweet. Also, shout out to the other super chat peeps.
Yeah, sorry we missed those. They didn't pop up on our
Nadine.
notification. Nadine.
And there's someone else.
Yeah.
Aaron Patrick. No question, but thank you for the content.
Oh, I'm sorry we missed those. We'll keep a better eye on the
Sorry, there's like
YouTube chat.
So many questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
Here we go. The O Show. Do you set it up the same way with the ATM MIDI?
Yes, except as Matt said, what you can do is you can go into go into outputs, go into monitor, and you can do fixed output level. It'll probably work quite a bit better with the ATEM Mini. I do definitely recommend using a balanced cable to help reduce interference.
Nerd
and
Nest.
such.
In recording, is there a way to drop a marker into the middle of a recording?
Yes, I can show you that right now. It's actually pretty cool. So when you hit record, it works very similar. Wow, that's like really blurry, but whatever. It works really similar to the other one, except I can also tap the screen to pause recording and start recording, which is very, very cool. Or I can hold the record button to do record pause as well. But it's kind of the same thing if I just tap the... Wait, did this change? Wait, did that change?
What did you change?
Okay, no, that was weird.
Oh, drop a marker.
Yeah, sorry, something did change actually. If you just tap the timer itself now, it will add a marker. So you just, okay, at 13 seconds, I need to do a marker. I'm just going to hit that there, and then it will add it there. What you can also do though, and this is something cool that I haven't really shown in a video yet, is if we go back to, we press the Rode O over here, I forget what that's called. We can go into our recordings and Never mind. I was going to show you how to play back recordings, and I realized we couldn't do that.
Good night, Bailey.
Yeah. I could
Super chatted.
plug a mic into the other RODECaster, I guess. But
He's going to
Bailey,
bed.
yeah,
Go to
it's
bed.
like good morning over there.
Thanks for your help. You're awesome.
Thanks, Bailey. It's okay if you need to bail.
Art says video coming soon on the NES on the other desk.
No, that was I was to make a point that I forgot to make at the beginning of the stream, but I'll make it at the end. So
How much does the RCP2 cost?
what is it? $6.99 US, which okay. So many people were getting mad at me for saying that $6.99. I think that's fair because the original is $5.99. So for $100 more, you're getting like $1,000 more features. And then I was getting so many messages from people saying like, "Oh, $6.99 would be nice, but it's $8.49 over here."
Is that how they talk?
That's how I imagine them talking.
That's how they talk.
Actually, the way I imagine.
Them talking is a lot more like this.
But okay, what I didn't take into account was that in the United States where I live, we like a good deal so much that we always want to feel like we're paying the least amount of money possible, and so sales tax is not included in prices. So the RODECaster Pro is $6.99 plus whatever, a 10% sales tax potentially, which then bumps it up to the same price that it is in Europe and other countries, where they just put the sales tax into the price of the thing so that you actually know how much you're paying when you
there
buy
you go.
something. So I think there was confusion because I was saying it's $6.99, which it is. If I go into a store in the US, it's $6.99.
Yeah, but there's like...
But then when you buy it, you pay more because they add sales tax to it. If you go to a store in Sweden, for example, it only sweetens the deal because you will see whatever, $8.49, and then you will just pay $8.49, you walk out. Even though at the end of the day, we will both have paid pretty much the same amount.
Ancon, will the fader move by itself if you adjust the volume on your PC?
Not unless your house is haunted.
Tony Jacobson, I'm a DJ. I like to use this at live events. Can I sign a fader to the main out?
Currently, no, but you do have the dial here, which is your monitor out. So I don't know if that could work for what you're doing if you're plugging the monitor outputs into like a PA system or something.
Matt Clark, are you able to use the two USB inputs as two separate inputs in the same Mac computer?
Absolutely.
At home with Tom and Rhonda Howard.
Oh, I like the
I
name.
do lives with a phone call in and at times on StreamYard when I guest on my RODECaster Pro. How do I stop delays that my guest hears when the guest responds to listeners' questions? Oh,
There's so many variables
Yeah.
there that that's a really good question. Because you're not the only person who's like struggling with latency issues on remote things. So far, like playing around with Bluetooth connectivity on here, it's been fine through a phone. I haven't had any complaints or any issues. I haven't done like a full-on hour-long show or anything like that. I've just tested it out, and I haven't had any issues like using this for something like an Ecamm interview or FaceTime or Riverside Squadcast, whatever StreamYard you might be using, I haven't had any like unusual delays. But the reason I say there's so many variables is just because I think some of it depends on like the computer system and the network and the guest network and the guest computer. And it's like, yeah.
Buckheim. What are the specs on the micro SD slot? And what card would you recommend?
I'm Buck. I don't know the specs other than blazing fast. That's the specs. I currently use, what do I use? This is a SanDisk Ultra Plus 64 gig card. This is just the one I used in my original RODECaster, and I think I took it from an old GoPro.
Can you scroll through these and try to do the fast ones? Because I don't know.
Okay. Can you connect RCP1 by Bluetooth? No. Can you connect RCP? Can the RCP2 connect to the ATEM and a second computer? You could run like a line output to an ATEM, but if you plug the USB into the ATEM, I don't think the ATEM is going to recognize it or see anything. Can you run a Zoom F6 into your Mac, then route that audio to the RODECaster, then back to the mix? Yes, you should be able to do that. The only problem is I don't know if you're going to have latency issues depending on where your mics are connected. The video I made where I did like 10 or 11 mics to the original RODECaster, I kind of did something similar using the Focusrite, and it worked all right. All right, let's focus on other things now.
Any other fast questions?
I wrote 6 months for the RODECaster 1. Now the 2 comes out. What would you do? If you're happy with the 1,
stick with the 1.
It's great for you. If it's not living up to your needs in some way, then you could potentially try selling it locally and then upgrading to the new one. But the first is still just as great.
It would be cool if you could connect iPads to the RCP2 to adjust settings on a larger screen.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Would be. Max Millie, does muting a channel actually mute the output of the signal, or does it just mute you from hearing it on your headphones?
If you mute the channel, it will mute the output. But the reason I like kind of am hesitant is because you can do like pre-fade, post-fade, and all that kind of stuff in here. But generally speaking, yes, if you press the red mute button, that channel will be muted from the output. If I mute myself right now, you should then stop hearing me, and this turns red. And then you probably hear me poorly on Heather's mic unless something went weird. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you can't hear me at all. Now you can hear me, but we shouldn't be able to hear Heather. So the easiest way, if you just want to deal with like headphone stuff, one way to do it is just press the green button. The green button on channels that you do want to hear.
OfficeNoob.com. Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. You might be an Office noob, but you're not a noob to this channel.
There you go. Sigmund Judge, can you change the color surrounding the volume knobs in all buttons or just the smart MIDI buttons?
All of them. So I'll show you that because it's super, super exciting. I don't need headphones to show you color changes. But yeah, I can go into outputs. I can go into headphones. A really good example is right now you might notice my channel 1 is blue because I assigned it to blue because that's my favorite. But my headphone for channel 1 is pink because that's the default. I can just tap right there and then go through. And as I change this, it changes the color. So I can make it blue. Click the little check mark, and now it's blue. That blew my mind when I figured out you could do that. And you can change all of these right here. These ones I don't think you can change. And of course, you can change all of these too. And this one I don't think you can change currently.
Hi on Life. How does a multiple microphone EQ save system work?
Oh, like making presets and stuff? Or I guess there's 2 ways to do it. You can go into a mic. So like right now I have my... Oh, you can't see. I should probably go over. You could see it. Right now I have like my mic and my channel. If I click the little plus icon, I can just save a preset for my channel. But what you could also do is go over here to show, and I can create a new show, and that show will have like all of my current setup, my current configuration. So if I have a show where I have like a main channel and a USB and a Bluetooth and something else, and everything's EQ'd the way I want, and then Heather were to, for some reason, want to start using a RODECaster, and she has like 4 microphones that she wants to use, we could have separate shows and just switch between them, and every time we do that, it would save those settings, or open those settings.
There you go. Josh, with the USB to TRS adapter, can you still use TRS cable with the second USB?
I have never used... I didn't know there was such a thing as that adapter, so I can't say. It sounds interesting.
Riopel Room, is there a way to view EQ settings for all active channels on the screen or only one channel at a time?
Currently, I think it's one at a time. There is the master output, like the master compeller. But yeah, just otherwise... one at a time.
Peter, how do you go about multi-track recording? Is that just a setting for recording?
Basically, yeah. There is something that's a little bit better than before. And actually, you know what? Can I just see? I'm going to move this because it seems like I'm mostly using this overhead crop shot, so I don't have to go through both of them. Anyway, that's not any concern to anyone else. So, wait, what was the question?
You have to go back to the main screen,
Oh, wait.
the main shot, because I took.
Oh,
it
it's
off.
still there?
Yeah.
Multitrack. That's right. Sorry, I was things on my mind right now. You just go into settings. You just go into, is it system? Outputs, multitrack. And then you can turn on multitrack if you want it for recording. If you want multitrack over USB, let's play with that for a second. Wait a minute. That's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm wondering what multitrack over USB will let us do. Anyway, you would just turn on multitrack if you want pre-fader or post-fader, and then what that will do is when you go to import your stuff, they did fix it where it will only import channels that are active, so channels that have had the fader moved up and had audio going through them. Those ones will be the ones that get imported. On the original RODECaster, it would just do all 14 channels all the time.
Chris says, what will it take for Heather to agree to transition your RCP1 into her studio?
She would be like legit unhappy.
No.
Yeah. So there's not.
I don't need it. I don't want it.
doesn't
I don't
want
want to figure it out.
Yeah, her current mic is the MV7 via USB, and it sounds amazing, and it's super simple, and there's nothing else.
I appreciate the product. It's just not for my workflow.
Yeah. So yeah, but I do think we are considering building a new setup for our stream, the couples table that we do on her channel every Thursday, and the original RODECaster would be kind of at the heart of that.
Okay, we have 37 questions.
We'll try our best.
Queue.
Is it released yet? Comes out on Wednesday.
Can you record different channels in DAW, like Reaper on separate channels?
Actually, I kind of want to find that out right now because USB. Yeah. I kind of want to see something. I know we have stuff here, but this is kind of an interesting question.
I'm almost at the end.
The reason I'm saying that is here I can go, this says recording and this says USB, and then you could select pre or post fader and USB multi-track. But like, here, can I,
I'm almost there. Two. Okay.
Bravo. Okay, I'm going to open up just Logic, I guess, because that's the logical thing to do. And maybe I could even do a screen share of Logic. Maybe.
Oh, can I?
Sorry, I just want to see. Let's see. We'll just do audio.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah, I'm just currently like literally. I don't know if I can screen share my Logic. Oh, hey, there's Logic. What do you know? Don't use that. Can you still hear me? You can. Okay. So if I go into Logic inputs, what if I go into Logic Pro preferences, audio? So I have main chat, and then I have the original RODECaster Pro as well, and even the Sony a7 IV. That's cool. But I am not sure, SM7B. What if, okay, I don't think this is what I think. I don't know. Somebody could, here's what I'm seeing. If you have ideas, you could just let me know. Anyway, I don't know. I was out of my element. The other thing I could try is Audition, because I'm a little more familiar with Audition than Logic, because I've used it a lot more. But I also want to try
Can I do one thing really quick?
Do whatever you need to do.
Cool. I just need to get it back to my there.
Oh,
Okay, there.
That was really smart. So what I'm trying to see is with multi-track output, can I select the individual tracks on a channel in a thingamabobber? And that is a great question. So here's Audition now. We want RODECaster Pro, we'll say RODECaster Pro II main. But if I go here, this does, we have all these different channels here from the RCP. So that looks like if I put channel 3, which is Heather.
Yep, that's me.
And then we like, okay. And then I put channel, what am I, 4, which is me. And then we hit record. Are we recording? I don't see anything happening. Yeah.
Hello.
I might be doing something wrong. I've never tried this before, but I feel like the possibilities may in fact be endless when it comes to this. Anyway, that's something that needs more investigating. So thank you for asking. And if I'm doing something wrong, just let me know in the chat.
Cool. Okay, we've got 44 questions in the queue. Wait, was that this one?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to scroll through and see
Yeah, I'll
if there's
kind of
any
go through
quick
some here. I
ones?
might
Yeah.
not necessarily go through every single one of them. I haven't used the bottom mounting system yet because I've been moving it around so much, but I think that's going to be a really handy thing. If you don't know what that means, on the bottom, there you can kind of see there's a VESA mount, and then there's also a 3/8 inch mount. So you have a lot of nice little options there, which is very, very cool. Do you have a Discord server? Channel members and things, my channel memberships and my Patreon have access to a Discord server. Great question. What's the over under RC? Oh, she like legit. So many people act like I'm an abusive spouse because they're like,
No,
you
they
have
don't.
no. See, the questions the comments I have gotten about
For
like, what's
me?
wrong with you? Why you gotta get Heather a thing? She's over there like.
You know what I'll tell you right now what I would do if for some reason I had to put the RODECaster 1 in my studio, I would straight up like mount it to the wall as a background piece. Like I wouldn't use it. I just wouldn't use it.
The pretty lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it's not for everyone.
It's not
really
a bad
love
product. It's just not.
It's not for her workflow.
Yeah. Just like I don't care about lenses. Sorry.
I haven't used the broadcaster with it. I've actually never used the broadcaster mic, so don't know how that would go there. Would you mind making a separate video on setting up the SM7B? I actually am planning to do that. It is incredibly simple, but I think it's almost so simple that it needs its own video to explain, like, literally you just plug it in and it sounds amazing right away, and that's it.
Can I fix something?
Yes, please. Oh, no. My wig.
There we go.
Is the Rode NT1 still good? Yeah. It's the NT1 is like such a stellar condenser mic.
This?
Yeah. The other option that I really love in the similar price range is this right here, which is the Lewitt LCT 240. It's about the same price, maybe a little less than the NT1, but it's also a really great condenser mic. How do you get the questions on screen like that? How do we do this, Heather?
Ecamm Live.
That's right. What is the best way to route VC cable to avoid electrical hum? Either using, USB is the best way. Otherwise, using a balanced cable and the line level output. Yes. You guys are using ATEM streaming at 1440. That's because, I set Ecamm to ultra high, and we're also doing like the 2:1 widescreen. So I think it's just upscaling the signal it's getting
We got
from
a
the
super
ATEM.
chat.
Oh, super chat. Where's that? Super chat. From Andres. Best sound mic settings for the SM7B. Recording in a room with a rather roomy sound. I would say, I'm going to mess up my hair again. I would say,
I got you, babe.
sorry, this is my cable. The crackling you're hearing is my crappy cable. Okay. This is not a Rode branded cable, by the way. Are you giving me a hug?
No,
Thank you.
it got tangled, but I can give you that. You're doing great.
Thank you. So the SM7B is really good at, if you're very close to it, rejecting other noise. Beyond that, if you're unable to like treat the room or the environment, I think the best thing that you can do is, if you're not using the RODECaster Pro II, be sure that you are using a signal booster with it. Doc Rock might disagree with me on that. But if you don't have a very loud, authoritative voice like he does, the booster is going to give you more gain, which means you can make the mic a bit more sensitive. So that way you can turn down the volume or the gain a little bit and still get a decent level. And that's going to help block things out as well. And that's kind of it from there.
I really want a Susie Cakes now, Doc. And there's like no way for us to get one unless we drive 2.5 hours.
We can order it. They order them online now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They ship or they ship domestically. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
It would be like a like a $200.
Your voice just sounds really nice on that microphone. I was distracted by that.
Caleb, you guys are using A10, but you just answered
Yeah,
that
we
one.
answered that one.
Sorry. Let's
Sorry.
see. How do you add specific software on Mac to channels on RCP2?
You just sent out the output. So, I mean, specifically, video on Monday coming out all about
Video
this.
on Monday.
So, like, if you're in Discord, you just set the output as RC RODECaster Pro chat just comes up as a source for input and output. And so does secondary, and so does main.
Matt, not to brag on B&H, but with their credit card, they refund the tax or
Yes.
special financing. The only way to buy things here in the U.S.
So B&H used to not charge sales tax, and it was amazing because you would buy an expensive camera and not be charged tax. And then the law changed a while ago where they had to start charging sales tax. And the way they got around that was they developed their own credit card,
Oh my God.
which gives you cash back in the amount of the tax that you.
They're putting a Susie Cakes in Rich's neighborhood.
Re-
Like, it's really good that there isn't one locally
Yeah.
because we would be there all the time.
You would have to like widen the door.
But also
frames.
Patrick Boberg's here and he hates it.
Well, he hates fun.
Luis, Tom, where can I get a windscreen for the Procaster?
For the Procaster. Oh, that's this one. I was like, what's the Procaster? I found this one. I saw Ryan from Film Riot using this. He's used it for years, and it took me forever to figure out what it was. This is from BSW. I can't find it like through Amazon or B&H. So BSW, like Broadcast Warehouse or something. It's called the Repop 320 because it's made for the RE20 and the RE320, but it fits the Procaster. And I love it because it doesn't take away from like the style of the mic. It works really well. And I don't know, I just like it. It's all made out of metal. It's like really nice.
Okay, we have 27 questions in the queue.
Okay.
But I feel like we need to just like
We
do
need to
something.
do something.
Yeah,
here.
so
Let's play around a bit. So we have some awesome moderators. I know I have the RODECaster that's working. So if you have like a burning question, we'll skim through and try to get to those.
we'll keep going. Yeah, we'll try to go.
But there are a few things that I want to share with you that
What do you want to share with us,
you don't know
Tom?
what you don't know, right? First and foremost,
Do you want to switch mics at some point?
yes, I do, but maybe not just yet. First and
Okay.
foremost, what I want to point out with the RODECaster is I've been comparing it to Photoshop a lot lately because Photoshop is such a big, broad program that even the people who developed it don't know how to use all of it. People who develop the RODECaster know how to use it all. But what that means is if there's someone who uses Photoshop for like photo manipulation and they're a pro at that, and there's someone else who uses it for like graphic design and they're a pro at that, they're still probably not using full functionality and features. And I feel like the RODECaster Pro II has kind of gotten to that level where it's like there's just so much in here that unlike with the original where you could kind of know everything about it, depending on your workflow and what you need, it's going to be very hard to know everything about everything in this. So it just kind of adapts to your specific workflow. And that's really cool because it means if you get it, when you get it, you can just kind of spend some time diving in and finding some cool features. As you probably know, I'm a huge fan about these. That's why I have the NES over here. So the reason this is here,
Why is that here,
listen to
Tom?
this.
ASMR.
The reason that this is here, it smells like cigarettes, even though I think everything from the 80s just smells like cigarettes, whether or not it was in a smoking household or not.
Is that your original NES?
It's not my original one. I don't know where my original one is, sadly. But
So
I did get an original one when I was 7 years old, and then I rebought one ages ago because you have to. So when I got my original NES when I was 7 years old, it was so awesome, and I used it for a really long time. And then really cool people like Heather got the Super Nintendo when that came out later, and it was like the NES, but super, a little bit, well, actually it had a lot longer lifespan than the original NES did. But this thing was still incredibly fun, incredibly useful, and even years later, when it kind of went past the point of needing to be used, because now all these games just like on the Switch or whatever, like you really don't need this to play the games anymore. It still has such like a special place in my heart and my memory that this is literally like on a shelf in our guest bedroom as like a decoration. The reason I bring that up is because for me, the RODECaster Pro has that same feeling. Like you have the NES and you have the Super NES. And I feel like that's a very apt comparison between the two of these. This one is still incredibly useful. So if you have the original, it's like it's still so good, and there's still so much you can do with it. And if you don't need some of these features, you could potentially even still buy this and get away with it. Although I recommend buying this if you don't have anything now. However, this means so much to me, and I'm such a fan of it, that when the time comes that the original just like isn't useful, I don't think it'll ever like stop working. But when it's just like there's so many better things and I don't need it anymore, I can't imagine ever getting rid of this. Like it has to be a thing that's like next to the NES on a shelf. And I don't know why I wanted to share that, but it's like, it's very easy to get excited about new products that are coming out. But for me personally, the RODECaster is just different. And I didn't realize I was such a fan of it until the second one was like announced and was learning about it.
That's like me and the Canon S110.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's still my favorite camera. It's probably the worst camera at this point, but it made such an impact on my journey. But. Yeah, it kind of changed everything. It opened up it became a genuine tool and that you use a lot, and I feel like the RODECaster has that, and it's really fun Room.
and super exciting. Oh, and thank you for the super chat.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Wow. You did a tongue twister for that one.
Yeah, that was hard.
Damien, thanks for the super chat. You look so happy. Keep up your amazing work.
This thing is, I think maybe I haven't done a good enough job in my videos explaining it because I'm talking about features and stuff. And even in this live stream, I'm like, trying to answer questions, do all things.
Sorry.
This is really fun. And like just having it on my desk and using it and
playing with all the goofy stuff that's like really silly.
And the, sound effects, which by the way, the sound pads are like way easier to use. It's like drum pads and stuff now, which is fun. It's hard to put like a quantitative value. Like, is it worth the $699? It's like super fun to use, and you just really enjoy it. And it's hard to put that into words. Anyway.
Lewis says you both look so happy and healthy.
Oh, that's good. I hope that we are healthy also.
Okay. Do you want to go back to the questions?
Yeah, we can pop through. We'll just skim through. We're kind of getting towards the end of the stream, so we won't try to answer every single question.
Cool. But I'll let you be the filter.
But if we see something that really, 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 really pops out, where do I go to be a Tombuck supporter? The most important question. There's links in the description. You can also click the little join button on the channel. My YouTube channel memberships and my Patreon are identical. So the features, the perks, the prices are exactly the same. It's just like, if you want to join and you prefer one over the other, go for it. A little off topic. What happened to your drum set? Yes, if you notice, it's gone. It's actually in our bedroom because that's a giant bedroom that had room for a drum set. I injured my foot a few months ago, and it's getting better now, but I haven't been able to play the drums because of it. And this room, I don't know if you can tell because it's a wide angle. This room's small.
I love this. Daniel says, would you talk to my wife? I also have drums in my studio and would love more space, so a bedroom would be great for the lovely drums.
It was way more fun playing the drums in here, and I really loved how they looked in the background.
Yeah.
But I was so tired. Like, okay, going back to this shot here.
Like, yeah.
Okay. You can kind of see there's like a spot in the floor. This is where the kick pedal was, and then the bass drum went out to like here.
It was insane.
They took up this whole space.
Yeah.
And it was just really hard.
And it was like, it was very stressful for you. I could tell.
I was constantly tripping over stuff. Like the amount of times I injured stuff and damaged equipment from tripping over it was so many.
It became not fun.
And when I was filming stuff, if I wanted to like set up something and set up cool lights and like get some cool shots, I had like no room to do it. So having just sort of empty room here has been like really fun. So anyway, that's what happened to them.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I've also been all about, where is it? The bass over there. That has been like my favorite thing lately.
Yes, the bass.
We should put the bass into the RODECaster.
Oh, you should.
Can the LEDs be dimmed on the unit? Yes, you can. You have like full functionality over the on and off brightness states of all of the buttons, and the screen itself can have an auto off or on feature too, which is very, very cool. How are you monitoring the audio right now? I'm kind of winging it. I do have monitors over here, but they're muted because I don't want them to get picked up, and I'm just putting on my Rode NTH 100s. Ding. Whenever I need to
Felicia
monitor
did
audio.
a super chat.
Oh, Felicia.
With a question.
Let's see. I'm just going to go to all comments here and jump to it here.
You did that.
Oh, Felicia, thank you. What is your absolute favorite microphone with the RCP2? Do you plan to assist the community with mic settings? I'd love to talk about mic settings. I'm really loving the way this Procaster sounds. But, and I'm sorry if anyone from Rode is watching this. I didn't think I would ever be the person to say this. I think that my personal favorite is the SM7B. I really like, on the wall back there, I have the Earthworks icon, and I really like that one too. But the SM7B, the reason that this is my favorite, other than that I like how it sounds, and please let me make sure it's actually, hello. Oh, as I was talking about how good this microphone was, the cable wasn't plugged in and it sounded like garbage. This
you need
is
a new cable.
I know. I keep telling Rode, send me those new cables that you're making. I'm sorry about that. What I was saying was that the reason I like the SM7B is I do think it's a really good sounding mic. But there are a lot of really good sounding mics out there. The thing about the SM7B is that it also is so good at rejecting. It's good at rejecting other noise, and I think a very underrated feature is it's not susceptible to handling noise like almost at all. So you can grab the microphone, other than my cable crackling here, you can grab the microphone, you can reposition it, you can bump it even a little bit, and it doesn't get picked up. Whereas, if I jump back over to the Procaster, as much as I like the way that this sounds, you hear like everything, and you need like kind of the big shock mount. So since I don't have this on a shock mount, you're gonna hear everything in it, and a lot of other microphones just kind of work that way. Plus the SM7B doesn't really have like plosive issues or anything because I'm gonna like throw this cable away at the end of the stream. If I take away the reporterstore.com windscreen, how far the capsule is in this metal like windscreen thing here, you just never have the susceptibility of plosives really. So it's not just about the sound, but it's also the way that it works in real world usage. The SM7B has been my favorite. The only thing I didn't like about it was that I always needed a booster, like a FET head or something, and now I don't. So it's like took away everything that I didn't like about it and just made it good. All right.
The Buzz on education.
Hey, Buzz.
I was dropping best knowledge. Get over to Florida, visit with me and the Buzzsprout team.
I've never been to Florida.
Well,
I've never been in the state of Florida.
We should go to Disney World.
Buzz, you live near Disney World.
Okay, we have 36 questions in the queue.
Okay, what are you using for chat overlays? That's Ecamm Live. Bum, 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 bum. I know that wasn't a question I put up on screen, but I saw that. Are you happy with the channel you created? Yes. Creating a YouTube channel, thank you. Creating a YouTube channel is the best thing, one of the best things, aside from marrying her.
Which happened because you made.
Yeah, we met on YouTube. So yeah, making a YouTube channel is the best thing I've ever done. Only YouTube regret I have is that I did not start the channel sooner.
You know what? I was thinking about this morning. I woke up and I was like, making YouTube videos is just fun.
Yeah.
Like we can. I know this is not.
You can complain about the
yeah.
platform or the algorithm and all that stuff,
cool
but
that
like
we can do this. Like it's just fun. It's funny because the very first day that Tom and I met in person, we did a live stream.
That was my very first live stream.
There was nobody there. And
I was so scared.
It was so cute.
I didn't know what a live stream was. Like, oh yeah, well sure.
And it was just fun. And because I was getting ready for this, and I was like, we're doing the same thing we did.
Yeah, on day one.
First day we met.
It's really fun. And growing up as a kid who used to just try to round people up and like, here, let me put this tape in the VCR, and like everyone who I can get into the living room watch this bad movie I made, and now I can just do that to the whole world for free. It's pretty great. Do I have a broadcaster mic? I don't have a broadcaster mic.
I'll take it off the favorites, so don't. We can.
Oh, I was just going through the general comments at this point.
It's favorites.
I know, but I meant I was just going to go over to the general comments, so that way we can kind of be.
Mic is silent.
Did we do something? Oh, it's all the bad cables. Can you give me a mic check?
Heather's low. Hi, Heather is low. She's super quiet.
Is she low to the flow?
I am low to the flow.
Oi, that's a terrible sound. You know what? Let's
change?
Just yeah.
Here, let me change to this.
Let's bring up the boom mic, and then yeah, you can use the Procaster. I've never heard your voice through the Procaster.
Okay, here's
Procaster.
Hello.
And wait, I think I don't remember what channel that one was on.
Hello.
Oh, we changed.
What did we change? Here we are.
Wait, did I mute myself? Man, I swear we're pro. We know what we're doing here.
Bad cables everywhere.
Yeah, bad cables everywhere. I'm on the SM7B. Heather is on the purple one, so that's channel 4. It makes sense that she would be purple. And what we can do is we can select Procaster, and we can select my preset. Can you give me a mic check?
Hi, this is a mic check.
Oh,
What's
you
up?
sound a lot better now.
Do I sound? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We're back.
Sorry. That always happens when you're changing stuff there. We really need, so Rode, I don't know if they're coming out. I mean, in their RODECaster 2 video, they talked about accessories that are coming out, and they showed these really awesome, like blue, pink, or like their typical colors, blue, pink, orange, and green cables, are XLR cables. And those looked really cool, but I don't think they're out yet.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks
here
for
you
that.
go.
All right. Is there a delay lag when monitoring Bluetooth headphones? Currently, it's pretty freaking good. But again, where is my... Oh, I'm using beta firmware. So there we go. I think, let's see. We are getting close to the end of the stream. So I think we're just going to hang out in the regular chat for a few more minutes, and then we'll wrap up the stream.
Cool. Sorry if we didn't get to all your questions. There's just a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. But that was really fun. I hope we answered questions. The RODECaster Pro II comes out on Wednesday. And the firmware, the official firmware, not the beta firmware, comes out the same day as well. And you can just update over Wi-Fi, which is super, super cool. So
It's really cool.
yeah, anything else we want to talk about before we wrap up here? How long does shipping take, Doc? There, Doc is just being reporterstore.com ambassador right now. I know, I need Alan from SoundSpeeds. I know it's like
You know what? Okay.
really hard for him
Now
to
we
make his
just need
cables.
to talk, okay?
Let's talk.
We need to talk.
Okay.
You need to come out with Tom Buck merch.
That's my merch.
That is a cable. That's legit good. Work with a company, okay? And
If only there was like an audio company.
make it the Tom Buck blue.
That's not a
And you
terrible
gotta
idea.
make Heather purple.
And it
too.
could be called the Excellent XLR.
That's it.
There we go.
Let's
It's pretty good. It's
go.
pretty good. So yeah, so that's, I love that idea.
I'm telling you.
If Gerald
you
and Dunn
come
can have
up-
a purple HDMI cable.
Yeah, you should come out with your own thing. Hey, Action Crypto, YouTube is okay. The people on YouTube make it amazing. People like YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is what you make it. Thank you for Beta Believe It. I was gonna say a thing and I forgot what it was.
Dude, we're hanging out. It's all good.
Yeah.
Think about it.
No, it's fine. So I think we've gone through the Q&A part.
Yeah.
That was what I was gonna say. So I have two.
What's next in the
A lot of RODECaster content has
content.
happened. So when the RODECaster was announced, we did a long live stream. That is still up for a replay with timestamps, but we didn't have working firmware. Since then, I have done 2 regular videos. One of them is just an initial walkthrough of the features, and the other is how to use it with computers. Then we're doing this live stream. Normally, I do private the live streams after a few days and make them for channel members and channel supporters only. But this one, because it's a bigger topic that people are interested in, I'm going to leave it up. I think I'm way too lazy to go back and timestamp it though, so sorry. And on Monday, I have a video coming out that's like 5 underrated features of the RODECaster Pro II. Some stuff we actually talked a little bit about today, but things that the big features like better preamps and better EQ and voice effects, like those are kind of taking the show. But there's all kinds of other cool stuff. So I just picked 5 things that I think are really cool that I've been using over the past few weeks to highlight. And then next Thursday's video is not going to be a RODECaster video. We're going to kind of go back into our normal, like, I love the RODECaster, but we got to do other things besides RODECaster too.
Okay, Matthew says we need a Tom and Doc Rock live stream at some point on the RCP2 when he gets. His
Oh,
flow.
yeah. I would love
think
that.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Also, really quick,
we can
let
geek
me
out
find
on
it. Let me find it. Can we get some guitar picking?
Oh, that's a good one. Let's do some
Or play
bass.
your bass.
Yeah, let's do the bass because I've played guitar since 2001, so for 21 years now. And I feel like in the couple months that I've really been diving into the bass, I've enjoyed it. Like, don't tell the guitars I said this, but more.
Do you know how many guitars he has? Did you? How do I switch? Is it 2?
2 is yeah.
Look at all the guitars over there.
I mean, they're great. I love my guitars, and they all have stories and things. But this is a good example. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to take off my
Cute.
watch
He's
so
gonna
that way I don't
serenade
scratch
me.
anything. Yes, I just don't want to. What I tend to do, especially when the drums are here, is turn really quickly and then slam the head of a guitar
Yeah, don't do that.
into drums, and I don't want to do that. But what we can do is we can
Is this
go
the only
here.
angle you have?
Yeah, that's my main angle. I didn't do anything else crazy. I am going to.
Where's your NDI?
I don't know where my phone is.
I'll
Can
go
you
get
unplug this blue cable?
This one?
Yeah.
Just pull it up.
Yeah. And then can you plug this one in there? So we will use the instrument stuff.
Where? On top of it?
It just goes right in the center. There we go. And then what we can do, because that is now channel 3. So channel 3, we can jump over here. Oh, what was that? I think I heard a sound. I think I made a oopsie.
Did you oopsie?
Oh, I muted channel 1 for some reason. Now channel 1 is instrument. Oh, no. Okay, wait. What are we doing? Oh, no. I pushed a button I didn't mean to push. Okay, now we're using our normal mics. Things should be good. I just need to go to channel 3 and change that to instrument, which will be instrumental in this process. And then as I bring up the bass, okay, that's looking pretty decent. I'm gonna put on my headphones, like when I do my bass practice lessons. And now, there we go.
Can I switch the
You
angle?
can hear it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Boop. There we go. There we go. I don't know if I don't
Oh,
think.
there's your phone.
Oh, here's my phone.
Let's put the NDI really quick.
Sure. Oh, see,
See?
not enough space in here. But yeah, what would be a fun bass thing to play?
Wait.
Oh boy, this is going to be a very uncomfortable angle to play. We can pump this.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, look at this. This is very intense here. What would be a fun? What's a good bass line? I forgot what I was doing because I got nervous.
You did great. Good job.
Oh yeah, what was my? What I've been trying to do is learn "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" from Blink-182 from start to finish. So just every song, play the album all the way through. And then I've been playing other Blink-182 songs. But one of my favorite things that I learned is from Enema of the State, which was Anthem, where it's the like. I swear I swear I practice, but I get nervous.
You got nervous.
Yeah, we're gonna see our view numbers go to 0.
No.
People are gonna go back in time and unwatch.
Stop.
But anyway, I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to run this directly through here. And then I would like to see on an instrument channel, I can go into advanced processing, and now I can add in the effects, including reverb. That's pretty cool.
Reverb.
And we can do a large hall. Wait, what was that song from? I'm sorry. Wait, no, Chris is here. Chris, I'm sorry that I play with the pick, Chris, but when I do my bass lessons, I do them all
I know
finger.
he's been doing lessons.
I'm very, very
It's, like,
good
so cute.
about that. But when I play for myself, I like to just use the pick. I like to pick of the pick. Okay. It's probably a good time to, to bring things in for a landing here. Yeah, the color of this one is Miami blue, and I actually think of Mr. Camera Junkie and Peter Gregg every time I use it because they're from Miami. Are you doing that now?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what to play. I have like nothing. Nothing is sticking. Oh shoot! Bad cable. Oh man. There we go. I don't know what would be a fun one. Oh wait. Yeah, this was. I was very proud that I learned. Wait, if I do pitch shift, will pitch shift?
Oh, wait. Oh, it does affect this. Sounds terrible.
Terrible though, because yeah. Anyway.
Can you switch the angle?
Oh, sorry. Heather's just been over there like dying. Alrighty. Yeah, I think we're ready to wrap things
that
up
was
right
fun.
now. I'm gonna put this away so I don't damage it.
Okay. So it's Saturday. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, and all I keep thinking about is Susie cakes. I'm gonna be playing Final Fantasy 14 after this. Go play
Alrighty.
with me if you also play.
Yes. How could somebody do that if they wanted to?
I don't even know, honestly. I don't know.
All right.
Send
Well,
me a message on Instagram. You know what Tom's gonna be doing later today? Flight Simulator. He got an Xbox, the new one. Like it's our first
it's the first time I've had
new
a
gen console
current gen console,
since like
the N64.
no, the Xbox 360.
I bought it when it
Wait.
was not current. I bought it like used from GameStop when the Xbox One came out.
Oh,
So yeah, I have not had a current gen gaming console.
the Wii, the
Oh,
Switch,
the Switch. Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
yeah.
the Switch.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you're,
Oh.
he's all about the Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing that.
So we're gonna
today.
be playing games like all day.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being here. I hope if you made it to this point, like seriously, thank you. I very much appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you enjoy the stream. I hope that like you can learn stuff along the way, and I also hope that you can tell that like I have fun doing it.
Yes, and also shameless plug. Tom and I have a weekly live stream called The Couple Stable over on my channel called Heather Just Create, and we actually used the RODECaster Pro II for the entire stream.
On Thursday
on
this week.
this past Thursday.
I think that was the first ever stream with the RODECaster Pro II, like
Yeah.
in the world.
So the stream wasn't about that, but if you want to hear what it sounds like, you can go check it out. It's an episode about what we learned from Peter Lindgren.
Yeah, because that was fun. I think a lot of people watch my channel, watch Peter's channel. He came and stayed with us for a few days last week, which was very, very fun. We made a ton of videos together, so you may or may not see a cameo from him in my video that's coming out on Monday.
Here's a hint, okay? For the videos that are coming out in the next few weeks, it is so worth it to watch it to the end.
It always is, though, right?
Yes, but like seriously though this time.
Okay. So anyway, thank you. If you need anything, I do my best to answer comments and emails. Sometimes it takes a while to get to them, but that's just, I'm not being lazy. I'm just going through them as best I can. But I always appreciate the kindness and the support. I don't know if you know this, the internet can sometimes be a cruel place. So every time there's kindness and nice things, it means a lot to both of us.
It's nice.
So
Have a happy Saturday, everybody.
yeah, hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week, rest of your day, weekend, and we'll see you next time. If you're getting a RODECaster Pro this week, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. I hope you really enjoy it. And
Thanks
last
for
but
the
not
super
least,
chat.
AD60M, USA spokesperson for Rode. Yes, Rode did send me a jar of Vegemite, and I actually liked it. Maybe I'll go eat some right now.
Hashtag sponsored.
Yes, except not.
Except
Okay.
not.